I would never do this, like never. Like I was scared.
It was just like I was too scared to live life.
Thing. You're currently living in an answered prayer. Importance of decentering men. Oh, okay, my. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know you've missed me.
Blessings.
I know I've been lacking, but we've got something to tell you.
We got some words.
So stay tuned to this video. You're gonna need this video. You're gonna need it. Stop lacking this year. Today we have a little guest on the channel. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Me and Blessing do the same course in uni. She's my girl. I love her. We like to shout at each other and tell each other to fix up.
Yes.
So we thought we'd share that with you guys today.
Until you guys fix up. So today we're basically gonna be talking about eat your sushi. Things that we are letting go of to improve our happiness, or things that we have been, or things that we want to. The question that we are asking today is basically what we're doing what we need to let go of, so to basically be happier, and what you probably need to let go of to be happier, and what we've done, what we want to do, and like a girl chit chat really. But I think it can apply to anyone, to be fair, because I think that in this life, if you want to be happy, there's certain things that you do need to let go of. A little chit chat about it.
Yes. A discussion.
A discussion.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, we'll talk about our views of happiness, what makes us happy. And then we'll go on to talk about like what we need to let go of to enable that happiness further.
For a long time, I feel like my view of happiness was it was very much rooted in external things, like if I went out with this amount of people, if I had this many friends, if I had these possessions, blah, blah. But I feel like, especially recently, because bro, this uni year, I've been going through it, I won't lie. But
it's not for the weak.
It's not for the weak. With that though, it's kind of forced me to I ended up spending a lot of time with myself, and it kind of has forced me to reevaluate things, and I've realized the happiness that I want to seek is a happiness where I feel fulfilled, where I can look at myself, sit with myself and be like, okay, have joy in life just for the sake of having joy in life. Do you know what I mean?
How do you do that?
How do you do that? That's the bit that we're trying to figure out. Bro, I'm a very heavy advocate for journaling. I've been journaling since I was 7?
Really?
Yeah. I tell everyone in the room to journal. This girl, I put her on.
Yeah, she did. To be fair, she did.
Yeah. So journaling, I feel like journaling is really useful because you develop an emotional intelligence. I don't want to sound like one of those people that
nah,
but you get to know yourself. Do you know what I mean? When you sit down and you face your thoughts, you're like, okay, I'm this type of person, or this will help me in this way. That helps a lot, especially in relation to happiness.
I'll talk about my happiness, my view of happiness. So I think my view of happiness has changed a bit. I think now my view of happiness is happiness basically comes from things I value or things I have a passion in. So my happiness is from being around people that value me and people that love me and people that genuinely I love being around. So happiness from friendships, especially. I think at the moment I'm finding out that my main source of happiness is from good friendships and good people that I have around me. I truly value it. I truly value it. Someone just clicked to me and I was like, I just need to appreciate the small things that I have, just that little bit more. So friendships, platonic relationships as well. Things that make me happy, like dance, just getting back into it, competing, street dance and cheer. The comps went so good, and I remember when I was there, I felt genuine happiness. I actually remember sitting down in the hotel room after,
oh my gosh, this is the happiest I've been in a hot minute.
And it's not even something makes you happy. You actually feel when you're happy. It was a buzz on the
inside. You could see it from you as well.
Yeah. And I'll post about it all the time because it's something that makes me happy. So it's why wouldn't I post about it? And happiness from self-care. Recently I've been into self-care even more than I was when I first spoke about it. From just stuff like hair, lashes, nails, everything, just small stuff.
Yeah.
I drink my like greens every morning. Been waking up at 7 in the morning recently just to have more time in the day.
Oh, I got a question to ask you though. Okay, how rooted in external things would you say like your happiness is? Like how much of your happiness is based off of like
people and like hobbies?
Like of course that's important. Like that's really important. Like I have so many loves in my life, like, and I'm like they make me so happy. But then I'm like, there's a balance between like those like things, other people.
I think it comes more from me, and then like I'd say it's like a good 65% me, and then the rest external things. Because I think external things make me happy. But like for example, my whole flat has gone home. Like my flat is empty. It's a flat of 8 girls, but everyone's gone home for the holidays. And I decided not to go home, even though like they're gonna be gone for like a month. I decided not to because like I feel so internally content that I can sit with myself for a long period of time and not feel bored or not feel like oh, I need to stay with people to make me happy. I worked on myself to the point that I can sit with myself in the room and be calm and not like sit with myself and maybe like look in the mirror and just be like, oh, I hate everything. I don't want to be by myself. So, and like in terms of like validation, I don't think I rely on others to validate me anymore. I think it's more internal that my happiness comes from. But that's just because I realised that I can be more content with myself and by myself.
And you recognise the value, the joy, the love
that I have from myself.
Exactly.
Like even if it's like in a room dancing. Before she came, this flat was empty. I was just listening to music, watching a film, eating, dancing by myself because like but I didn't feel the need to then like call up someone like, oh, can you come round because I'm so bored and I just don't know what to do. So I think that's why the ratio's like that. What about you? The way this slaps. It's alright.
Alright, how much of happiness to me relies on external versus internal? Like I was talking about before, like it's definitely become a thing of like, before it was primarily external. After I sat with myself, not sat with myself, but after I like completely broke down, I kind of like realized, okay, within myself, like, because I still had all of this love in my life and stuff like that, but I still felt like not good. So then I'm like, okay, so it's not these things that define or that determine my happiness, because I have these things and I feel great about them, but I'm not happy, I'm not content. It has to be internal to like a really large extent. And like when you develop that happiness within yourself, I feel like find that happiness within yourself, and when you love yourself, it helps give the external things, like you appreciate them more, and then in turn that brings more happiness, and then it's just like a cycle of joy and love. Basically,
this segment is gonna be about what we're letting go of to prioritize our happiness. This is kind of like part 2 to the first video I've made, but it's good to have an extra insight on it because
it's good to check in with yourself.
Exactly that. So something that I'm letting go of to prioritize my happiness, I'd say worries. So recently I'd say that I've been very fearless in many cases. Like there's many places that I've wanted to like go, or like just stuff I wanted to do, and I kind of just have like the fuck it mentality. So I'll debate it and I'll text someone and be like, oh, like should I do this? But instead of waiting for their reply, I just do it anyway, because like even if they say no, like what, so I'm not gonna do it. And I'll just like take away this worry, like I just want to do this, let me not be scared, and I do it. And then after, like you realize that it wasn't that bad. And I remember there was a study that I saw ages ago and it stuck with me to this day, and I saw it years ago. And it was like 97% of the things that you're worried about won't happen. And that 3% of it, if it does happen, is not as bad as you think it will be. And that's been in my mind for years. And now I'm like, that's so true. Because even if something bad that does happen that I think was going to happen, it's like, it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as you think it will be, even if it does happen. Because now I just do stuff and I don't think about it. Like, unless it's like a stupid thing, but I'm just not scared to put myself out there. For example, I had a street dance competition, and there was a segment where you basically have to go up on stage and do like a dance battle against other unis. I would never do this, like never. Like I was scared.
She was
So
flipping
I was
Yeah.
I would set a little clip. But I was scared, like, I wasn't trying to do it. And then I was like, do you know what, fuck it, like, what bad could happen? Like, I can go on stage and I'm gonna dance, and like there's nothing bad that can actually happen from it. And I done it, people were cheering, I got so many compliments for it after, like I really got myself out there. And roll the scene. But like after that, I actually felt like fearless. I was like, so if I didn't do it, I would have regretted it. So I'd rather like regret doing something after doing it and be like, oh, why did I do that? Than regret not doing it, you know?
Like people, most of the time people regret the things that they don't do.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I never wanted to be that type of person. So if there's something, I'd rather do it than not.
So true. Like I don't want to, like when I'm older, be like, oh, I just wish, like I just went on the stage. I just wish. Like even if that hasn't like benefited me right now, well, it has. Like I got like loads of things from it. But like even later on, let's say someone comes up to me, they're like, oh, I remember you from like, because you done that. And it was like a whole freestyle thing. And I haven't freestyled in like over a year, but it was a whole freestyle thing. And I done it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I felt amazing after it because I remember that I could do it. And I was like, shit, like this is all right. So that's something that I say let go of is fear. Like what's your experience with fear?
So like I used to have a lot of fear like growing up. Like I was a very anxious person growing up. Like anything that I could worry about, I did. And that has limited me so much, like whether it's academically, socially. Like I feel like looking back now, the position that I'm at right now, I would be so much better. I'd have so much direction in my life. I'd have so much satisfaction with myself if I didn't say no to all those things.
Saying no.
Yeah, I was just like I was too scared to live life basically, and that has like put me down so much. And I've gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, I've realized this. And at first I talked about it a lot, like regret. But like staying and sitting in that regret was doing nothing for me.
Yeah, like
so now I'm on a vibe of like, let me say yes. Let me enjoy things.
Exactly.
Let me try things that I wouldn't usually try.
Literally.
Like I started salsa. That was really
your salsa era. Please get back into it.
Guys, join the salsa
She
society.
is so good at salsa. How can you rap it if you're not in it anymore? Can you get back into it?
I will get back into it.
So good at salsa, guys.
Yeah. I used to really be into film, into writing.
Yeah.
But because I said no so often, it like put my confidence down. And so I didn't have anything to like I couldn't say, oh, I can do this, because there was no evidence in the past that I could do it, because I always said no. And so it just meant that I shut myself off and I denied myself
opportunities.
Yeah. And
which you should never do.
Yeah, and like experience love, joy, and life.
Yeah, so saying no is probably harming yourself in loads of ways, especially with opportunities and stuff. Like, especially what I've realised, like, I'd rather be the worst at something around good people than the best at something around okay people. And that's with anything. So, like, with, like, loads of societies and stuff like that, and even, like, getting back into dance, like, I'm definitely not the best there, and that's fine. Like, you're around people that's really good so that you can learn new things. And even just small things, like, talking to people that maybe I wouldn't have spoke to before, or going places, or just doing stuff that we haven't done before is like just such a big thing. And we're both into it. Like,
I mean, like, if you see us on the street,
if you see us
on the street,
the other day there was there was that guy on the street and he was listening to music and he was listening to
some Brazilian
he was 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Little story. So we was in Tesco and he was there, and then we were just dancing. Then he came behind us and he started dancing as well. And he get
So we said,
and then we saw him again on the street, and then we danced with him again because who gives a heck? Like what was gonna happen?
Like people like that, people that actually don't give a shit.
Exactly,
They enjoy
like he
themselves
didn't give a
themselves.
shit. He was enjoying it. He didn't have his headphones. You know those days where you lose your headphones.
Exactly.
He had his phone here, no shame.
like, oh.
And why should he have shame? Like that's something that we should do as well. So that's what I mean.
Exactly.
You gotta live your life.
Yeah.
Next one, we'll say, okay, self-doubt. So this comes with fear, but like what's like the views on self-doubt, like your experience with it, and like if you're letting go of self-doubt, how do you kind of do that?
Okay.
And the importance of it.
Important.
There's a lot to cover there, but
Yeah. I let fear, self-doubt, that shit used to cripple me. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I've really like, as I've grown up and I'm like looking back on the things that I could have done, or the places that I could be right now.
is there a lot of things that you like didn't do because of it? Bruh.
You want me to explain?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to explain.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Or like just one thing, like an example.
Okay.
Like what's like the biggest thing that you didn't do
Okay. Like, for example,
because of fear or something?
there was a film, like, what was it? Like, there was a job role for film, like working on a film set. I forgot what the role was, and because I was like, oh, I can't take that risk, because I didn't have confidence enough in myself because of all that self-doubt.
Yeah.
I was too scared to take that risk. But I know if I'd have done it.
Was it a thing like where you didn't think you was worthy to do it, or you
Yeah.
didn't think you had the skills to do it, or
No,
like
I
you were
just
just scared?
feel like I couldn't do
You
it.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, just I don't know. It was just so much self-doubt. Like it's just like stuff like that. Like I used to enter writing competitions. Sometimes I wouldn't even enter them. Or like if there was an open mic night, there were so many times where I could have been like, actually, let me say my piece, and then I didn't. But then recently I was like, do you know what? Let me like open myself up to that again. Let me like, there is still self-doubt, but let me ignore it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's for my better self.
Yeah,
And
and
after I did those things,
literally.
I felt so much better.
Fear isn't coming from the good place of your head anyway. Fear is coming from like the negative parts of your head. So like listening to fear is listening to like the bad
Honestly.
parts of that's in your mind.
Like our brain's like default is to try and protect us. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like all about like what you see as dangerous, or like what you see as like a threat. So like going out and trying new things, if your brain, like if you see that as a threat, if you perceive that as a threat, your brain is going to be like, okay, no, we can't do this. We're going to avoid situations where we could discover new people, new opportunities. Do you know what I mean?
Self-doubt.
Oh, I'm wearing this
I'd
backwards.
say I used to doubt myself more than I do now, but I'd say self-doubt in terms of like more like imposter syndrome. I think it's imposter syndrome where like you don't think you're worthy to be in certain
I
spaces.
struggled with that so
Yeah,
heavily.
because of who you are. For example, like I'd say at first with cheerleading, before I done it, obviously cheerleading is majority is a white girl sport. Basically all the girls are white, other than like a couple black girls. And I'd say it's not like I didn't think I was worthy to be there, but just for me to go to the tryout and stuff like that, I was really nervous because I just didn't think I'd get in. But luckily I've done dance before, so I think that gave me a bit of a confidence boost because I know I have background in that. But I feel like if I went in with like no dance experience, then I don't even know if I would have done it, to be fair. And so like I have like flexibility and stuff. That was like quite hard at the start, but like at the same time that's just coming from a negative space in my brain, so I just done it anyway. And it ended up, even all the competitions and stuff, like it ended up being like such a good time. Like I didn't feel left out or anything. Like I was on a team with people that saw me like as part of the team. But like if I let my imposter syndrome and fear like get the best of me, I wouldn't even have done it in the end. And like I think there's just loads of small things where you'll probably be the only person there.
I got a question.
Yeah.
It's going off topic, but I'm
Go
gonna ask it. How important to you is like diversity? Like you say you're the only black person in the room. How does that make you feel? Like does that matter?
Do you know? Well, okay. Do you know what it is? I like being in diverse places, but I recognize that loads of opportunities are just not diverse. Like even like when it's stuff like where you work, where you go to, like obviously let's say I'm going to a pub, like I don't really go to pubs because like, I'm not trying to be the only black person there. But then it's like, if I actually wanted to go to the pub that day, I would go, because like some places just aren't diverse, and that's just kind of life. You kind of have to be the first person there.
Black people are 4% of the UK.
Is it? Bloody hell. Yeah, you kind of have to be the first person in some spaces, and then like other people will come. In terms of like joining societies and stuff, if I walked into a society and I was the only black girl there, if I wanted to be there, then I'll do it. Like, if I genuinely think that I'm worthy of being there, because I say that I've got quite a high I value myself quite highly. I think of myself like pretty like high in terms of like what I deserve and stuff, and I think I deserve whatever I want to deserve. So like, if I want to do a sport, like even I used to do freestyle disco dancing. I don't know if people know what it is.
Show us a demonstration, because even now I don't know.
I'll show you a video of it, innit? Majority white girl sport. Like again, same with cheer. Like if you go to that the competitions for it, it's all white people mostly. And even when I used to train back home, basically nearly everyone there was white, other than like a few black people, or like they were mixed race. So like that's quite hard. And I remember when I first walked into even wherever it's my dance school, dance competition, you're not gonna see black people there. But I never stopped doing dance, and that was when I was 11, 12, and till this day I'm still doing it. So I'm thankful that that fear didn't make me not go and like go home and be like, I don't want to go there because like there's no black people. Because sometimes you actually have to be the first, and then it encourages more people. Then even when I was older and I grew up there, later on there was like more. Gradually there's more and more people, so you kind of have to be the first in certain places. I feel like the corporate world as well, even with like jobs and stuff, but we'll talk about corporate world when we get to the corporate world. So overall message about self-doubt:
don't have it.
Don't have it.
Let it go.
And if you do have it, don't necessarily listen to it.
Yeah, like of course you're gonna have it, but like don't let it rule you. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's better to be weary of something and doing it than regret not doing it later. I think that's like the main bit. You don't want to live life with regrets, and I'd say so far I've done quite a decent amount for like my age. Like
no, you have.
Yeah, like a decent amount for my age, to be fair. And now most of the stuff that I can say that I'm happy that I did is from not having the self-doubt or the fear.
Or like having that, and like I feel like it's so strong to like have that fear, have that doubt, but then do the thing anyway.
Exactly.
Like even if it doesn't work out how you want it to, the fact that you even took that step whilst having that fear, applaud yourself. You're strong.
You're strong.
You're
doing good. So what I'm letting go of and being. Is that it?
Man, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So this one's a little segment about the male species. I'm not a hater, but let me tell you a little something.
It smells something.
So, men, if you're watching this, no, I'm joking. I'll play with you. This is a little segment about decentering men.
Okay, period. Yeah, this is so important.
The importance of decentering men. Oh, okay, my ring has flown off. Cool. So, how do I feel about men? It's not going to be a rant. I don't hate men. I don't have a hate for men at all. Decentering men from your life has probably became the most important, okay, not the most important, but definitely like up there the most important things that I've done in order to enable my own happiness. Especially girls, we'll talk about girls, unconsciously will have men at the center of their lives without them knowing. And it's in terms of small things like just chasing men, doing stuff for men, like wanting to be around men, like
seeking validation from the internal male gaze.
Ooh.
That I feel like that is what a lot of girls face.
But like, yeah, and it's just like, but it's natural, like it's not a bad thing. But when I talk about decentering men, I'm talking about like just posting whatever you want and like
not being conscious of like how are they gonna see this, what if this doesn't get me a man, or how is this guy thinking, like even if you're at a motive, oh, who's this guy feeling, is he feeling me, should I
like I could not give a heck if a man prefers me wearing a certain thing or whatever. Like I couldn't give a heck if like, because like, I heard that boys don't like girls that post too much, but I post every day and I do not give a flying fuck.
Your business, exactly.
Yeah, like what about it?
Like what is for you will come to you.
Yeah, literally. And I think again with men, in like patience, I'm very content with how I am and building myself up. If someone's to come into my life, then they come into my life, but I'm not seeking it. And it's again with patience, like, also I've learned that not everyone that you're attracted to you should move to. That's a big one, because there's loads of beautiful people. Yeah, there's loads of beautiful people.
It's true.
But sometimes you just have to admire from a distance and be like, do you know what? Like that's it.
Exactly.
Because like, if not, then you end up doing stuff to try and get that person's attention because you're attracted to them. You're like, oh, I'm attracted to them. Now we need to be together. We need to be doing the thing. And sometimes that's not even the case.
It
like,
wastes your energy.
It wastes your energy.
It wastes an opportunity to make a friend.
Exactly. And I feel like I've been able to, from decentering men, I've got like a lot of just like self-worth. Like, I feel like I know my self-worth and stuff like that. But if men was at the center of my life, or not even the center of my life, because I don't think men is at the center of anyone's life, but I think if you haven't decentered them, then it's like, don't see your value as much, or like you'll put your value in terms of how someone else perceives you. And I think that's so dangerous too, whether it's to your mental health, or even stuff like when you're scrolling on TikTok and you see a guy's like, oh, I like a guy like this, and this, or when
like
people
3xing girls.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't absorb that information. Or let's say,
hey, guys that lack emotional intelligence or emotional maturity or sensitivity to other people, which is a lot of them, I feel like they're very like entitled, and they're very like group minded, and like, oh, this girl like, my girl needs to be
yeah,
and it's like, I feel like I'm not even like trying to be in all of that, because I feel like it's just all quite surface level.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like when I see stuff on TikTok about like what boys like stuff, if a boy said they didn't like a black girl or something, even if they said it to me, I actually would not absorb it. Because that doesn't mean I'm ugly. That doesn't mean anything, because of how I perceive myself.
Exactly.
And because I've worked on myself so much. If a boy came up to me, or if a boy was talking to his friends and he said he doesn't like dancing girls, do you know what? I would not even absorb the information.
It's nothing.
Because that's not, because of how I see myself and internally, I know that you're not talking about me.
Exactly.
You're not talking about me.
Exactly.
I know damn well you're not talking about me. Anyone can have their opinion, but don't absorb it, because I read another thing where it was like
what is it? Wait, their opinion doesn't have to become your reality.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, just because someone says something doesn't mean that that's you. Like, that's just someone's opinion. And this is why you have to work on yourself so much, because if you work on yourself, then someone could say anything, but you'll only believe it if you actually already believe it, if that makes sense. If I believe I'm ugly because of whatever, or like, let's say because I cut my hair and I hated it so much, and now a boy says to me, oh, girls with short hair is ugly, I'm gonna get upset about that, because that's what I believe. Because you now told me something that's affirmed my own belief. But if I didn't believe that, it's all about how you see yourself. And if you internally see yourself in a certain way, then like things won't get to you as much.
Like this, like, you have your own opinions as well. Does that mean like, because you have this opinion, you have to enforce it on everyone else?
Exactly.
Like, everyone has to subscribe to that opinion. Everyone has to think that way because you think that way. No, that's not true. So if you're thinking like, because this person has an opinion, it determines who you are, that's not...
Exactly, like...
I don't know.
Just
like,
know,
you're above that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you're beautiful, and you've worked on yourself, and like, you've got good female friends around you, so you don't need a man anyway. Like, no one needs a man. And I guess everyone says this, but I feel like it's just like a reminder, like, if it comes into your life, it comes into your life, but if it doesn't, then it's all right.
You should be happy anyways.
Exactly, like, find your own internal happiness, and then I feel like it will naturally come.
It's true.
I think that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. I wanted to say something else.
Say something!
I forgot.
You should have just stopped me.
No. I think there's so much joy to be found.
I think recently I've just found joy in loads of small things. That's why I say that I've definitely decentered men from my life. Like, if a man says something to me right now, I'd be like, okay, like...
I've realised, like, a lot of the time when people are like, oh, I'm working on myself, it's so that they can be in a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can say, like, oh, I don't, like... I care about myself in this way, I take care of myself that way, just so they can be attractive to other people.
Exactly, but like, I feel like there's certain things I do that are probably like just jarring to men anyway, to be fair. Like, I think I'm quite an annoying person. Someone probably thinks I talk too much, someone probably thinks I post too much, but I don't give a flying heck. I actually do not give a heck. I'm gonna live my life, you know what I mean? Like, if someone thinks I'm jarring, if someone thinks I'm just too much, if someone thinks I'm da-da-da-da,
It's a business.
and that's what I mean, like, let's say someone
Like,
thought...
it's so good that you've gotten to that stage.
Yeah, I think so. It's taking time, but like,
It just
because I feel like
doesn't matter.
a lot of things like people won't do because they think it's embarrassing, or like, oh, let's say boys are watching, they're like, oh, that's so embarrassing.
People will not go to bed thinking about you. You
Yeah.
won't, like, people are not gonna be like, the last thought of their day is gonna be that one
Yeah,
time you tripped on the bus.
Nah, literally, like,
Come
it
on.
doesn't matter. So honestly, live your
5
life.
years down the line.
The only person you need to impress is yourself.
Exactly. Be patient with yourself.
Be
Take
patient.
Time. Take time for yourself.
Yeah, so we'll leave it on like some advice for the girly paps. Some advice that has helped us to like grow on ourselves. So be patient with yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. I literally done a post about this the other day, but I think I've really stopped being as harsh on myself with life. Like, obviously everyone wants to make it big in the world, everyone wants to get to a certain place, but if you're harsh on yourself, you don't acknowledge your small achievements. And I think that's what I've not done for ages. Like, I've done so many things, but I've never sat down and be like, do you know what? Oh my gosh, like, this is actually really good. I'm just kind of always on to the next thing. So I think
like, it's important to consider that you're living in an answered prayer.
that's what I said the other day. No, literally, that's like the most beautiful thing. You're currently living in an answered prayer. Like, wherever you are right now, wherever it's a prayer that, thank you, Lord, like, that you know, like, let's say you prayed like last year, I just want my family to be happy and healthy. I just want to have a roof over my head. I just want to have food on the table. Thank you, God, for the gift of life, to be like, able to breathe and speak and like dance and like, thank you for, let's say you pray for good friendships or something. I remember praying for good friendships. I remember praying for happiness, self-love, for all of that stuff. And like, it's just now, like when I'm praying for the next thing. When I'm forgetting that, I'm literally in a prayer.
Gratitude.
So exactly, gratitude, being happy about where you are, but also, obviously, you want to be somewhere as well. But
and I think something really important in like, because you were talking earlier about like steps to take to let go and to find happiness and stuff like that. I think something that's really important is like treating yourself or caring for yourself like someone that you love, like the person dearest to you in your life. If they had a problem, for example, they wanted to watch their weight, what would you do to them? What would you say to them? How would you care for them?
Exactly.
And do that for yourself, because you deserve the utmost love. Do you know what I mean? Just by being okay, recognize that, see your life, enjoy life. Do you know what I mean? What did I say?
That's the last one we're gonna end up with.
Yeah.
Enjoy your fucking life. Don't give a
true.
heck what anyone has to say.
Exactly.
Don't be embarrassed. If you're gonna go on a solo date, if you're gonna go and dance on the stage at the club,
Your business is your business. Okay.
You're gonna walk into a store and sing out loud. Actually, do it. Because in a couple of years,
Ain't nobody cares.
No one cares.
No one give a heck.
No one gives a damn.
Do you know what I mean? Like the way you're worrying about yourself, this, that. Most people are thinking about themselves in that way.
Like people are stressed.
They won't have time to consider, oh, her weave is doing a bit.
Nah, literally, they don't have time to consider, oh, that girl was singing in the middle of the town centre. No one gives a heck. No one gives a heck.
Some people may even say, oh, you have a nice voice.
Literally, like you make friends from that. People come compliment you, like even karaoke, even if you can't sing. You know, small things like that. We know. Yeah. I know karaoke multiple times. Can I sing? I cannot sing, but give me that fucking mic. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. It's like, you don't have to be able to sing, you know what I mean? Because you've got talent, like, let people know, whether the talent's small or big.
Speaking of, let me sing for y'all right now. Don't worry. Be happy.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed thoroughly the video.
Yes, come back for more.
Yes, and she'll be back as well. Actually, we've got another video that she's dropping in. But thank you for watching. We hope that you got some advice from this, and we hope that you have continued to grow in life. You're flourishing. You know, we're going into April, the 4th month of the year. We're still surviving. We're still breathing.
Exactly.
Give yourself a round of applause for how far you've come.
We'll
even if you're in bed watching, even if you're not doing anything too crazy right now, even if you haven't had the most productive day, just know that tomorrow will always be a better day.
Exactly.
And whatever's for you will come for you, and whatever's for you will not pass you. So take time for yourself, do self-love, do self-care, be patient with yourself, do whatever you want, go out places, whether it's by yourself, surround yourself with people that love you and people that you love. I will see you later.
Bye.